Hi, I'm Bob Power, and we're pleased to have with us today Rupen Shah, plc, Director of Finance and Investor Relations, and Steve Nightingale, Director of Investor Relations at Britvic plc, which trades on the OTCQX market under the symbol BTVCY. Welcome to the Market Center.
Thank you, Bob.
Morning, Bob.
Great. So Rupen, tell us about Britvic and what the company does.
Well, first of all, Bob, thank you for letting us come here and talk today.
Pleased to have you.
So Britvic, soft drinks company, headquartered in the UK. We have soft drinks businesses both in the UK, which is where we originated from, plus in France, in Ireland, and now, of course, in Brazil as well. What kind of uniquely describes the group is that both in the UK and the island, we are the number 2 soft drinks business. In carbonated soft drinks, we're behind the big red kind of cola brand, but we have some of the strongest shares in those markets than we do that Pepsi enjoys across Europe or indeed globally. What differentiates us is the fact that we are the number 1 soft drinks player in the stills category, where we have our own brands. And indeed, the acquisitions we made in France and Brazil are typified by the fact that we're not the carbonated player, but we own number 1 positions in the stills categories.
So how does Britvic differentiate versus the competition, and what's your strategy for long-term growth?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So within the UK and Ireland, it's about 2 things predominantly. One, which is we have a portfolio of leading brands, and we have what we would describe as the best, strongest portfolio. So not just in carbonators, not in colas, not just in fizzy drinks, but also across the stills area, where we own number 1 leading brands in what we call is the kids, family and adult categories. So whether it's consumer trends and how they evolve and move, then we believe we have a portfolio that plays across all of those areas. The second biggest thing that we think separates us out in those 2 markets is our ability to innovate. We've seen some of the most successful soft drinks innovation come from Britvic in a way in which we've not seen other players participate in. If you then take France or you take Brazil, the strategy is very much about how we take some of the group-owned brands that we have and that have leading positions into those markets to be able to stimulate and drive growth. And if you take France, that we've now owned for 5 years, in that time, we've grown the business twice the rate of the soft drinks market generally. We've doubled the EBITDA from the acquisition, and we've launched innovation. And indeed, within the kids category, we took Free Shoot from the UK soft drinks market, and in France, that now enjoys the number 1 market position, having overtaken the incumbent leading brand in that place.
Interesting, and Britvic has recently made forays into the US and the Latin America markets. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, it goes straight to the core of the strategy, which is we're about brands. And we enjoy and we very much value the fact that we are a Pepsi co-franchisee in the UK and Ireland. But what really sets us out, that we've already mentioned, is around our strong brands in kids, family and adult. And the international strategy is about how we take those brands into global marketplaces, and both in the US and India through a franchise operation, working with partners in the market, that we've taken the kids category Free Shoot brand and seen that launched in those markets. Now, it's still very much in its early days, but we're seeing good growth and it's been relatively successful in terms of where we are today, but we're still a lot more potential to go.
So Britvic truly is a global company.
Well, we're certainly international. We have the ambitions of being global, for sure.
Great.
We think we have some unique things that we can do that others can't, partly because of our scale, which is we're not a global soft drinks business with many $1 billion brands in the way that a Pepsi or a Coke machine is. So we have some agility and flexibility in a way in which others can't. And we think through real focus that we have the opportunity to globalize some of our business.
Thank you. Steve, Britvic upgraded to our OTCQX market in April of 2010. Can you tell us how upgrading to OTCQX has helped enhance reaching the US investment community for Britvic?
Yeah, sure. The ADR program is an important tool in our kind of investor proposition. It gives us access to US investors that not having an ADR program would do, so it opens up pools of money. I think being on the OTCQX platform, that provides us with a high level of kind of credibility. It makes kind of trading on the Britvic shares on that platform much easier. And I think also in parallel to that, I think the other services that OTCQX offers in terms of distribution of information and engagement with investors, that gives us a level of service that we wouldn't ordinarily enjoy.
That's great. What else would you like US investors to know about Britvic?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we just celebrated our 10th anniversary since we IPO'd on the London Stock Exchange in 2005. Over those 10 years, we've delivered a earnings CAGR of just over 10%, a dividend CAGR of a similar level. The dividend is a key part of our investment proposition, and we've never cut the dividend in our time as a PLC. I mean, our track record is fantastic over those 10 years. And as we look ahead for the next 10 years, we see lots of significant growth opportunities, not only in our core markets in Europe, but also globally as we look to take some of our brands into other markets.
That's excellent. So, I would like to thank you, Rupen and Steve, for visiting with us at the Market Center, and good luck, continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you.